Hey guys, Phyllis here. This video is going to be a short guide on some common follower setups and options for optimizing your follower. Now, the follower setups are pretty straightforward. The main reason I wanted to make this video is because in some guides I'll often reference Thunder Fury optimized follower, and a lot of people aren't exactly familiar with what that means. I've gotten a lot of questions about what do you mean? Can you explain this? So throw together a little video to be very short, kind of covering that setup that I'm referring. Specifically for the Demon Hunter is to trigger Call of the Week and Band of the Trap. Now, a lot of other classes can benefit from a very similar setup, so just kind of take that for what it is. This foundation is going to be what I run on my Demon Hunter, so greater rift progression. So it's quite simple. You just stack attack speed, cooldown reduction, use Thunder Fury for the slow, the Essa Johann for the pull as well as the slow, the Rearward for the occasional stun with the Thunder Fury, the lightning damage on the weapon as well as the lightning trigger. It's going to have a chance to trigger that, which is decent for the crowd control. Obviously you need the relic to survive so that the follower won't die all the time. If you are running the Templar, you can run the freeze of deflection for the crowd control. And as far as stat priorities, again, attack speed, cooldown reduction. So you'll notice I have attack speed and cooldown reduction on all of my pieces. Attack speed. The shield, you can get your block chance to increase that chance to freeze, and then the relic as well. Get the block chance there. The same setup if you want to run with the Enchantress, depending on the build and itemization that you're running, you can run the Enchantress. And then the other ring is kind of flexible. You see I have the Unity here. If you are going to be taking advantage of the Unity, obviously you have to have that on your follower. Otherwise, you can take advantage of the Oculus ring for the double attack speed roll. So you can get, this item always comes with attack speed, and you can actually re-roll one of the other modifiers to double attack speed. And it has this little area, increase your damage by 40% while you're in it. And that does trigger off of assist. So as you're killing stuff, it will proc on monsters sometimes, even though your follower is not really getting kills. So this is a nice ring if you're not going to run the Unity. And you could potentially even run that over the Y-word. I really like this one though. And some things to note is that last patch, the Jangdo was really popular for followers. Attacking enemies below 20% life freezes them for 3 seconds. This used to last indefinitely, but with the changes in 2.3 to the crowd control, this is not effective at all. It lasts for like a second and a half, and then it stops working for like 3 seconds, and it freezes them again. So the uptime is like 30 to 50%, and it's questionable value. Doesn't really do much. So generally, the Thunder Fury attack speed cooldown setup seems to be the best across the board for pretty much any class. Specifically though, the Demon Hunter for the Call of the Week and Band of the Trap triggered. Now as far as the spec, this again kind of depends on what you're doing. I usually run with the dual Unity, so I like to have the heal. The life per second is nice. You don't need the Intimidate because you have the Thunder Fury. And the life per second can kind of help heal you up a little bit. With a damage reduction, healing, survival setup, this is going to be good. If you're not running that kind of a setup, you can shift these over. And the other big one that I switch a lot is this last one. Inspire for hatred generation is really good, depending on the build you're running. That's going to be more or less useful. And then the Guardian, having 2 heals on the Templar and your potion is kind of overkill, so yeah, I mean, just kind of see how you feel with this one. Sometimes the knockback is just an inconvenience, and then sometimes it saves your life, so you can go either way on that. If you do need the resources, I would definitely recommend Inspire, but if you are doing a tanking, healing, survival setup, you can get value from that Guardian here. And that's the big reason I like the Templar over the Enchantress, is the additional healing and kind of like having the meat shield out in front. The advantage of the Enchantress is the uptime on the Thunder Fury is actually a little bit better because she attacks from range. When you're kiting monsters and stuff, sometimes the Templar is retarded and he won't attack. He'll just kind of stand next to you, and you're missing out on a lot of damage potential when this happens. The Enchantress doesn't have that issue as much. She still does it. Followers are pretty retarded in general, so you do have to kind of keep an extra eye out for where they're at and what they're doing, and sometimes you might have to, you know, drag them away from what they're doing and toward where you want them to be. But it is definitely plenty of uptime on your Call of the Week and Band of the Trapped. But anyways, that's it. I meant for this to be a really short video. It ended up being kind of long, but hopefully that helps some of you guys. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.